Though we got independence in August 1947, British monarch was still acting as nominal head of India and still Governor-General system existed. On January 26, 1950, India became republic and British rule was completely abolished. Let us know why we celebrate Republic Day on January 26 and its relationship with Constitution of India. So you are going to learn two topics in this video, that is about Republic Day and Constitution both. So let's move into the topic. Constitution is nothing but various rules, regulations and set of fundamental principles which determine how a country should function. When British first entered India in 1600s, they carried out only trade relations, but soon they started involving in political activities and captured power in India and slowly started framing rules through various acts from 1773 without even considering views of Indians. After almost 90 years, in 1861, through Indian Councils Act, first time they allowed 3 Indians into Legislative Council, and from 1892, British also allowed Indians to discuss budget and started taking some suggestions from Indian leaders. But in 1927, Simon Commission was formed by British government to recommend whether Indians need constitutional reforms. But Indian leaders were not pleased with this move of British because all the members in Simon Commission were English people. There were no Indians in it. So protests took place all over India with a slogan, Simon Go Back. After that, Birkenhead, the then Secretary of State for India, challenged Indians to frame their own constitution. This is famously known as Birkenhead's challenge. Senior Congress leaders took the challenge and prepared Nehru Report in 1928 under leadership of Motilal Nehru and C.R. Das. In this report, they asked British for dominion to India. In dominion status system, British would control defense, foreign affairs, communications and rest of department will be placed under Indians, and also British won't involve in internal politics and elections. But it was opposed by younger generation Congress leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, as they wanted complete independence instead of dominion status and formed Indian Independence League. Later, Labour Party, which was ruling in Britain, announced Diwali Declaration with the help of their Viceroy Lord Irwin in October 1929. In this they claimed Britain is committed in giving dominion status to India over a period of time. But in Lahore session of Congress, which held in December 1929 under leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, Congress declared its aim as complete independence and it should be given within January 26, 1930 and thought to celebrate it as Independence Day. Though we did not get Independence Day on that day in 1930, every year Indians used to celebrate January 26 as Independence Day. Moreover, British also failed to give dominion status which they promised earlier in 1929 due to change in government. Conservative Party came into power after Labour Party. It was very rude on India and did not want to give any status and delayed the things. During World War II, which started in 1939, British needed India's help. So British government came with August offer in 1940 to give dominion status and frame new constitution to India. But Indians were not impressed with it. Later, when World War II is intensifying, they came with other proposal called Cripps Mission in 1942. And they tried to grab attention of Indian leaders by promising dominion status and setting up constitution making body. World War II ended in 1945 and Labour Party won the elections and it announced India will be assured independence soon. Labour Party kept its promise and established Cabinet Mission Plan in June 1946 and promised to set up Constituent Assembly to frame constitution as well as interim government with all Indians in it. Elections to Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946 and it was formed in November 1946 with total strength of 389 members, of which 296 members were elected to represent British India, that is India and Pakistan, and 93 seats to princely states. First meeting of it was held in December 9, 1946. Rajendra Prasad was its president, H.C. Mukherjee was its vice president, and B.N. Rao was named as constitutional advisor. Constituent Assembly started working and it appointed various major and minor committees to deal with different tasks of constitution making like fundamental rights. These were shared among the members. And also they studied various constitutions of other nations and adopted in our constitution. For example, most of the judicial elements were adopted from United States. Parliamentary system which is in our constitution was adopted from Britain. Like this they tried to adopt few other principles from other constitutions. Constituent Assembly also appointed a drafting committee to prepare final draft of constitution under chairmanship of B.R. Ambedkar. While preparing constitution, in between this period, we got independence also on August 15, 1947, and celebrations on January 26 were stopped in 1948 and 1949. Moreover, Constituent Assembly worked for 2 years, 11 months, 8 days to finalize the constitution, and on November 26, 1949, constitution was adopted with 395 articles, 22 parts, 8 schedules. But it did not came into force on the same day because national leaders felt that January 26 was auspicious day in Indian freedom struggle. So they thought to wait for 2 more months to enforce constitution on that day, and also thought to remove nominal powers of Britain and abolish Governor General post. So constitution came into force on January 26, 1950 and nominal power of British monarch was removed completely on that day. So from that day the head of India is not a hereditary king or queen but elected representative of people. So India is referred as Republic from that day. That's it for today. Hope you learned something new in this video. If you found it useful, press the like button. For more updates, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.